The overhype with Josh Allen, bro. Like, at first it didn't annoy me. Like, it annoyed you a lot last year, and I think I'm where you were at last year. Because, like I said, like, literally when... Like, people will literally sit there and tell you, like, Josh Allen is the reason the Bills are where they are. But the two most important games of their season, he had probably two of his most lamest performances. Yeah. And the defense was, one?
Right.
And if they lost those two games, we wouldn't even be talking about them right now. And that's all I'm saying. And I think his stats, like, you have to watch the games to understand that Josh Allen doesn't even make the, like, even when he makes a good play, it's not the fucking best read. So, like,
no, I've been off. I don't jack Joshy at all. I think that nigga's mad regular.
Do I think at the top of his game is he a top 5 quarterback? Yeah, but like it's inconsistent.
When he is at the top of his game, he's top 2 or 3.
Yeah, absolutely.
But
no, for sure. When he's playing at his best, yeah. But when he's like not playing his best, he's sometimes the reason why they lose.
Right. His ceiling is higher than. Is his ceiling higher than Patrick Mahomes' ceiling? No.
But they give up mad excuses for that nigga, bro, and it's mad annoying.
It's bad excuses, bro.
But his floor is?
Yeah.
Who we got? Who's a really trash quarterback in the NFL right now?
Nathan.
That just loves to turn the ball. His floor
Sam
is
Howell.
So
no,
I'm
saying Josh Allen is either Pat Mahomes or Daniel Jones.
That's better.
That's good.
That's what
good.
it is.
Because he can still run it. I like Daniel Jones.
Yeah. But fumble too.
Yep.
In his own end zone and cost him the game. Yeah.
Absolutely.
But somehow the Dolphins can't fuck with that. So
At all. He's 16-0 when he doesn't turn the ball.
Things are about to change, bro. I think the Dolphins are winning this week.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Wait for my hot take.
Wow. Okay.
Bills are missing the playoffs.
Oh yeah, I was talking to my dad about them, bro. Y'all just, bro.
I think the Jags are the
us.
Like like who like besides the Cowboys who are frauds themselves.
Yes.
Who have you guys beaten?
Nobody.
Yo, not for nothing. There's a lot of good fraud like.
But that's the thing. Everybody has their warts this year. Everybody, except for the Ravens and the Niners. If it isn't for those. I hear you guys still lost.
But I'm saying, but we're playing our fucking third. We lost to the Broncos playing Dorian Thompson Robinson.
Right, but that is what your team is right now. That's your weakness.
No, I think you're saying like
no, you're not frauds.
You
lost games that you weren't supposed to lose.
Win. Like
I don't know. There's some
the Browns are unjudgeable.
Yeah,
it's just
you have every reason in the world to have lost those games.
You lost your two most expensive players, and like still now you got like Joe Flacco and Kareem Hunt just fucking.
If you're telling me you're a clear front runner from this point forward, if it weren't for the Ravens and Niners, like
I'm just saying,
I get once you go up against the Ravens, if the Ravens are playing at their best, you guys are not equipped to beat the Ravens while the Ravens are at their best, but you can fucking beat them.
Right.
There are teams that can't.
But I'm saying the Dolphins, though, like every tough game you guys have played, you guys have lost.
Yes.
Except for Dallas.
Yep.
So, and you guys probably should have fucking lost the game, too. If dudes didn't fumble in the one.
Also
but
true.
You didn't. But you did. Yeah. You won.
It's a different game, so you don't know that. But
right.
Agreed.
Right.
Yeah.
You guys can score more, whatever. That's fine. But I'm just saying, like, I wanted you guys to beat Baltimore. Mm-hmm. So we could have a shot at the division. Like I wanted that to happen, and then niggas just dropping balls in the fucking like
Tyreek Hill right in the end zone just.
And then after the game, I'm like, why did I ever think that this team was like
capable?
Yeah, you guys are like. I feel like this is just. I just looked at it like this is not your year.
I agree with that.
Defensively, just not your year.
And like
especially losing Bradley.
I know I can't preach injuries to you.
Right. But
I know, like Bradley Chubb, Jalen Phillips, Xavier Howard is out. Javon Hollins missed a lot of the year.
Right.
We've played both backup safeties for a good chunk of the year.
Sure.
Nick Needham has missed most of the year. Like we've had a lot on defense specifically, and our offensive line we've started every different combination there was between 10 guys.
Right.
So,
but I feel like you didn't even lose. Like offensively, you looked okay. I feel like you could have ran the ball a little bit more.
Agreed, yeah, and that's a Mike McDaniel problem. Right. I'll agree with that.
And that's part of the coaching. Like, the big time games is Mike McDaniel ready to be ready to coach big time games.
Now, at the same time, let me also say this: last year, I feel his best coach game was Skylar Thompson against the Bills in the playoffs.
I totally.
Is he holding something?
I agree with
for
you.
the playoffs.
I agree with you.
So I'm
was
not.
Was that more of a him thing, or was that because the Bills kind of stink? But.
Maybe, go both ways. Yeah, it has to be a combination thereof.
It has to be a combination. Yeah, for sure.
So I want to see what Mike McDaniel does.
Well, you could have said that when you played him fucking week 3.
Yeah. Against Bills?
Scored, or whenever you guys played the Bills.
Yeah, we got demolished.
That's what I'm saying.
Of course, we want to win the divisional matchups, but it's a lot more important in the playoffs. And, yes, we could have called that, but that was a Buffalo team that's super pissed off. And this was a Miami team that's coming to its own a little bit. Yes, we had just demolished the Broncos right before that or whatever, but it was... I think we were riding a little too hot. They were a little too pissed off.
Yeah.
So I understand how that one panned out the way it panned out, but I'm curious how this one goes, and I'm real curious how next week goes.
Welcome, everybody, back to the Built Different podcast. This is episode 26 of an NFL podcast. Mm-hmm. The season's wrapping up. I have a little depressed tone in my voice for obvious reasons. Bill as well.
I get it.
We'll be drinking beer.
Not me, though.
Proud of Dom. Yep. I'm proud of Dom. His team's figuring it out at the right time. But, yeah, man, episode 26, last week of the season coming up. So we're going to recap, a lot, talk about a lot moving into the playoffs. We're going to be talking about some hot takes. We're going to be talking about Lamar Jackson locking down the MVP. The Bears locking up the number 1 pick, even though they're playing some fantastic football lately. The Eagles, the Dolphins, so much more. We got Built Different or Not, because that was a really good segment that you guys liked on NBA.
Yes, sir.
And then we're going to blind build the team. So with that being said, how you guys doing?
I'm straight, man. I'm excited for this week. Kind of want the Browns. I do want the Browns to win this week, even though we're not really playing that much people. I want us to have a 12-win. I want us to be the first team in NFL history to win with 5 different quarterbacks and be a 12-win team. I want that to happen. But I'm doing good. I'm excited for the playoffs, AFC. I really know more about the AFC situations than the NFC situations, but, I'm very intrigued to see what's going on, And Michigan, Alabama was a good game, and Texas, Washington was a good game.
I'm not going to lie. Since I think Jameis played, I haven't cheered. I'm not going to be cheering for a team more than what I'm going to be cheering for Michigan to go all the way.
I want Michigan to do their thing, to just say suck it to the whole.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. So that's where I'm at.
Yeah. How you feeling, Bill?
Yeah, I lost every college football bet that I made this year. I'm pretty positive that locked in.
That was me in the NFL last year.
I had Alabama and I had Texas this week, so just capped it off exactly the way I expected it to. Ultimately, I'm excited to rinse off last week's NFL slate and looking forward to this week's. We got some real interesting stuff on the agenda here. And real interesting stuff. It's going to break down in the 1 o'clock window, the 4 o'clock window, and the 8 o'clock window. So I'm looking forward to a week of football.
Yes, sir.
What are we drinking?
This is Haladat from Toppling Goliath. It's a
cranberry apple cinnamon lager. I don't normally do shit like this, but here we go. Oh, wait. Got cheer first. Yeah. Dog pound. It really does feel festive. It says festive, refreshing, and fun. Pause, but that's exactly what I felt in my mouth.
Yeah, thank you for the pause.
It's a little depressing because the Eagles season has basically completely unraveled, unfortunately. I still like our position in the playoffs because now we're going to be running through, the NFC South winner. And then we'll face the Cowboys if they can get past the Rams. And then the 49ers. I actually like that path rather than the path we were about to be on. So I like it. Eagles are underdogs now somehow. But A.J. Brown actually had a press conference today to clear up, all of the bullshit rumors. They are indeed bullshit. I think what it is, I think like the media is making it way more than it actually is. It's just bad play calling and a terrible defense. There's nothing you could really do about a terrible defense. Because as you saw, Jalen Hurts literally played near perfect. And, you know, the defense gives up 40 points to the Arizona Cardinals. So, you know, that's where the Eagles stand. And it's going to be fun, you know, because as we know, the 49ers are some frauds. I'm not afraid to say it. They're actually in position to go into the playoffs healthy for once, but at the same time, they don't get the job done.
Frauds?
Bro, they haven't gotten the job done since we've been born.
You think they're frauds?
Like in general, like in the overview, the oversense, like you know how we consider the Cowboys frauds?
Yeah, no, they're frauds.
Oh no, but yeah, they're frauds.
The Niners are frauds though?
Yeah.
I have a hard time.
Yeah. Like the franchise of the San Francisco 49ers since I've been born.
So you feel more excited about the Eagles than the Niners right now?
Oh, like in a general sense, the 49ers should. Like,
but you think that they'll choke in the
What makes them...
Not the Eagles game, maybe even before. Like, I don't know. I don't know, but it's a 49ers thing, bro. They don't get the job done, bro.
So let's throw this out there. So I've got as my NFC playoff picture, and it's getting a little ahead of ourselves, but it's important to get that out of the way so I can ask my next question. I've got San Francisco already locked in the 1 seed. I've got Dallas winning the division.
Detroit.
I've got Detroit as the 3rd seed, Tampa as the 4th seed. I've got as wild cards Eagles, Packers, Rams.
Can you send that one?
Who's winning the Rams versus Dallas? Because that would be the matchup.
I'd hope Dallas.
You would think, but do you think?
I don't know, man.
I don't know, man.
Like the Rams. I tried to tell people. I tried to warn people about the Rams, man.
I think they've got a shot. So let's just run down. Is San Francisco a lock over Green Bay?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Is San Francisco a lock over Philadelphia?
No.
Not a lock. Are they a lock over the Rams?
No.
Divisional opponent?
No.
Absolutely not. So if any of those wild card teams win, they have their hands full.
Yeah.
But they're not frauds.
No, I'm saying, like, I'm not saying this San Francisco 49ers team are frauds.
I'm saying
the San Francisco 49ers are frauds.
Last year is not fraud. You got a guy with 1.5 arms out there.
But that's what I mean. Like, no matter the reason, they just don't get it done.
I hear you, but that's a freak accident type situation. My hot take...
You're in the hot seat now.
Is that...
Trying to put me in the hot seat.
The Buffalo Bills are going to miss the playoffs. They've got a high chance right now, per a lot of analysts. But I've got everything panning out just perfectly.
Yeah, tell me that scenario, because I didn't even know there was a scenario where they could miss.
So ultimately, it really boils down to them losing the game and the Steelers winning against the Ravens' backups.
And then Jags winning.
Yeah, Jags would also need to win.
Jags beating Titans, Steelers beating Ravens, Bills lose the Dolphins.
Bro, and that can happen. What
Those
the
are
fuck?
three real things.
Imagine that would be such a Buffalo Bills thing.
And it's Sunday Night Football, too. So all those things are going to happen before the Bills. And if Josh Allen... Chokes.
No, because if it comes down to that, if the first two scenarios happen, yeah, the Bills are losing, bro. I'll put, like, everything I have in my bank account, which is not a lot, but I'll put everything in my bank account on the fucking Bills losing that game if that shit happens.
Miami's going to stay plus money no matter what. They're battling a lot of injuries, but ultimately they still got Jalen Ramsey. That passing offense, largely one-dimensional. So I just think it matches up well enough as long as we can turn Josh Allen over, and I trust that we will this time. Man, it's 16-0 when he doesn't turn the ball over, but we're going to turn it over several times. I think we got it.
Wow. That's spicy. All right, what's your hot take of the week, Dom?
Browns win the Super Bowl.
Browns win the Super Bowl.
You
think so?
It's that simple.
It's that simple.
It's starting to feel like destiny.
I'm not...
Bro.
First of all, Coach of the Year.
You know what's crazy? I'm not even sitting here like, oh, that's just the shit.
A couple weeks ago, you would have done it.
Bro.
Because Bill, was he not the hater?
Bro.
He was the Browns
And
hater.
I will repeat what I said, bro. When y'all had that clown group of quarterbacks before the legendary, almighty, American Patriot, living, breathing Joe Flacco, bro.
Okay. Get off PJ Walker like that, but...
No, get off Deshaun like that.
Bro, I'm on Deshaun like that. But get off DTR like that.
Who's the last thing?
Bro, Deshaun Watson.
Who was the last thing that beat the Ravens?
No, that's fine.
Who was the quarterback?
Deshaun Watson, that's fine.
Okay.
That's fine.
So don't disrespect the 5-1 quarterback.
Bro,
don't disrespect the 5-1 quarterback.
Does not get
and he shouldn't have lost
Don't disrespect the 5-1 quarterback. Don't do that.
Absolutely shouldn't have lost the one he lost either. But
at all. He should be 6-0. And we should be winning. That's besides the point. Whatever. All right. So, yeah. Coach of the Year. DPOY. Should win Comeback Player of the Year.
Comeback Player of the Year. I agree.
Should be.
I agree.
That's another hot take too. DeMar Hamlin. I mean, the Baker and Joe Flacco.
Listen. DeMar Hamlin
Did he not win it last year?
No.
Who won it last year? Gino.
Yeah, Gino did.
Listen, I'm really happy DeMar Hamlin's alive, but I think that was like
that's enough.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's a good enough award.
Like that's what I'm saying. Like that's the award. Like you got to come back to like you have 5 tackles this year, bro.
Does he have 5? That's a lot more than I thought.
I don't think he has 5.
No, he has 5. Last time I checked, he has legitimately 5 tackles.
I thought it was 2, but that's fine. Yeah, the point stands.
Maybe it'll be something where the Bills beat the Dolphins thanks to his tackle or some shit. You know, that destiny shit, script, whatever.
Right. Yeah.
But it's gotta go to Joe Flacco,
if he
bro.
picks 6
if he has a meaningful play, then I'm calling out the script.
If he picks 6 to come back play the year would be great. I'd give it to him for sure.
Yeah.
But
that'll lock it in.
Right now, as we speak, Browns will play the Jags, which I do believe will happen.
Which I think the Browns can win that game very much.
I know the Browns will win the game.
The playoffs are weird. Playoffs are weird.
So let me throw out every other situation for their round 1. If the Jags lose, then they play either the Colts or the Texans, whoever
wins.
Which
I'm more afraid of, to be honest.
Agreed,
I'm more afraid of the Colts, and I'm more afraid of... Not really
I hear Houston. You're more afraid of the Colts than the Jags?
For sure. It's hard to win in
the current Jags, yes. The Jags are playing like
their defense is doo-doo.
Yeah.
So I think the Browns beat the Jags.
I told you, man.
So
that London shit was whack.
Listen to this. Listen to this, though. When we do the 5 wins, I do have the Texans winning, but I do think the Colts probably win.
I mean, you guys do face the Ravens.
But depending, no. But I'm saying though, if I think the Colts can give Miami some fits. I think they can.
You're making a lot of assumptions here on. So the Colts aren't playing Miami. There's not really a circumstance where that happens. Once you fill out the rest of your little playoff machine.
Oh, you're saying? Oh, yeah. You're so the
Dolphins are basically playing.
I think the Steelers beat the Dolphins.
Yeah. Wait, no, the Steelers aren't playing them either.
What do you mean?
Dolphins are playing either the Bills or the Chiefs. That's almost every circumstance.
No, but you just said if the Bills lose, then the Steelers and Jags win. The Bills are out.
Oh, okay, right.
So then the Colts become the 6.
It probably
and the Steelers become to the 7.
Yeah, it probably
so
would be
Steelers would go into Miami.
Okay, right.
Steelers are losing that game.
But I think it's a lot close. I think that becomes coaching. I think Mike Tomlin will.
Bro, that locker room is shot.
Nah, if you watch NFL films, like I wish I did today, like they believe they could do some shit, like for real. But that's besides the point. If we leave it like that right now, I think the Dolphins beat the Colts. But I think Buffalo could beat Kansas City. So I think that the Browns would actually face Miami and not Buffalo second round.
Then wouldn't they face the Ravens?
No, because Buffalo is the lower seed.
If a 6 or a 7 seed win, then the Browns would end up facing the 2 seed. Essentially, which is either Miami or Buffalo.
Either way, like I think the Browns' only real problem is the Ravens.
Right.
Like real problem. Like, can the Bills beat the Browns? Yes. Can the
But if they would, they'd have to come into
that's what I'm saying. Like, can the Chiefs beat the Browns? Yes. Can the Dolphins realistically beat the Browns? Yeah. Like, can they win? Yes. But I think the Browns.
I think a lot of those
they're in those games. You know what I mean? Like you can see them winning.
Every better would take us with points.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's what I'm saying. Like you could see the Browns winning those games. You would put money on that. The Ravens, if they lose and they're not facing the Browns, or the Browns go into Baltimore,
that's
man. Like the Browns,
Joe Flacco, you're telling me the road to the gym
literally
is Joe Flacco back to the crib.
Joe Flacco is literally giving you everything he has left in that fucking tank, which is apparently a lot.
He's rolling out, throwing touchdowns.
Like I told you, 30 for 50 with 300 yards, bro. Everything he got left.
And that's what I'm saying. So that's my hot take. I think the Browns win the Super Bowl. But you know why too? Because we're the only team in the NFL that beat the Niners and beat the Ravens. And those are two favorites, right? Meaning that we're not scared of them. Yeah. Everyone else hasn't done that. So that's what I'm saying.
You guys got nothing to lose at this point.
No, we're playing everyone's balls in whatever balls are out. We're and we're gonna get everybody healthy back. Like
this is gonna
we get Grant Delpit. We get Uncommon back. We get Zadarius, Miles, Denzel. Everybody will be back.
All you need though is that Joe Flacco, who is giving off extreme Shane Falco vibes right now.
For sure. I have Flacco fever right now back. Yeah. So, and I just think Stefanski's in a hot streak right now of calling good games. So I just think that, he's playing. And Njoku's
Flacco, throw it! Flacco, throw it!
Njoku's becoming a top 4, top 5 tight end since Flacco's been there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, that's my.
And I'll say it now. I'll say it one last time. Like Joe Flacco's a real patriot. He's a real American hero. Like he's putting everything he's got literally left out on that field, making comeback wins, blowout wins, dogfight wins. He's winning all the important games, and I hope for the best for the guy and your team, man, because you guys have been. I would not want to be a Cleveland Brown fan this year.
Nah.
Because talk about a roller coaster ride of emotions that literally started with fucking losing your superstar running back. Mm-hmm. And just unraveling after that. Mm-hmm. Because, the Deshaun Watson shit, when he goes down, you get to face all the fucking idiots saying, that contract.
Waste of contract.
All that stuff, which I don't really think it is.
We're playing on our backup left tackle, and our backup right tackle, and
Yeah, man. So,
And we're starting to draft Driscoll.
I'm here for it. Yeah, good luck, man.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah.
So, speaking of Jeff Driscoll, my hot take, I don't know if it's necessarily a hot take. You guys might think I'm a little crazy, but I think this might be the most important playoffs in the career of both Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen. And the reason why I say that is this is the first time they're really... It's like even playing field, right? Mm-hmm. This is the first time that you could literally say, the Bills for sure have a chance, or the Ravens for sure have a chance. I don't think it's going to be like that again. Because Patrick Mahomes, if they go into this offseason and they don't give him what he wants, I feel like the Chiefs are going to fucking fall apart. Because the Chiefs are going to go through some changes this offseason. I think we know that whether he's going to restructure his contract, something, but they're not going into next year like this. There's a lot of teams on the rise. The Bills are falling apart just a little bit. We saw that. Yeah. If they lose again, who the fuck knows what's about to happen to the Buffalo Bills? And Lamar Jackson, you got one of the best defenses, and your offense is fucking clicking the best it ever has. You're about to win your second MVP. I think it's the most important one because I don't want to say it's the easiest one for them, but I think one of these quarterbacks should win the Super Bowl this year. And whoever does it, whether it's both of them or one of them, I think there's going to be a lot of people talking shit about them. And I don't know. I don't know if they're going to have it as easy as this. Bro.
I think especially with Lamar, agreed. He's going to win. Yeah, he's going to win MVP. And it's the best team he's ever played on. Yeah. And I'm not saying that they can't redo it next year or whatever. I think they'd still be favorites to win the North next year potentially, but especially with the young talent that they do have. But I just think that he's winning MVP. This is the best. This will be the best defense he's ever played on. He's got to do it. Yeah. And honestly, bro, if the Browns lose to the Ravens, if we play them, if we get a chance to play them, I would not Ravens is the only team I don't get mad at to losing by because I respect Lamar and I want Lamar, the black quarterback, to go do his thing. Everyone shitted on him.
That was my thing. The whole story about Lamar, bro. Coming into the NFL, who's gonna draft this running back? Yeah. Falls all the way. What? He fell to the third round, right?
No. He was first round, but he fell to the last pick.
Last pick. My bad. Yeah. He fell. Every other team passed up on him, and then he came in, won MVP, still was getting shitted on. Failed in the playoffs.
But that's what it is, though.
Yeah.
If he were to lose to the Browns or whoever in the playoffs, it would be
stinky.
It would be bad because they just no one will respect Lamar. Yeah. He'll never get MVP again.
Right.
Because this is what you do in the regular season. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to playoff time, you stink it up the joint.
Right. That's fair.
Yeah, I agree with you, Dom. I don't think there's any pressure at all on Josh Allen right now, to be honest. I
don't know, man, because we've seen the Bills' infrastructure all year just kind of like on its last leg almost, it felt like.
And I'll circle back to the Josh Allen piece, but with Lamar, I think it's hard to say this because they have basically nobody going to free agency. Their biggest free agents in the upcoming season are going to be Odell Beckham and Kevin Zeitler. You think Odell's not replaceable in his current state? I think they can find something. They can figure something out. Zeitler hurts if he walks, but why wouldn't you re-sign if you're an offensive lineman playing for Lamar right now?
Right.
Who just got onto a long-term deal. So if they can re-sign Zeitler, then they're not really losing any impact players. So next best, I see like Michael Pierce at D-tackle, Rocky Ya-Sin, Gus Edwards, who's important to them, but again, replaceable-ish. So I don't know. I don't think this is something where the Ravens can't just run it back next year. But this is the best defense he's ever, and the healthiest defense that he's ever played with. That Ravens team is cursed with injuries. This is the healthiest team they're going to ever walk into.
Sure. It's just like, for me, it's perfect for either him or Josh Allen because the Chiefs are the worst that they've been in the last, several years. The Jags aren't a threat. Yeah, I think the Jags will be a lot better next year. I think the Texans, they're going to have money to spend this offseason. Yeah. They're going to be a lot better. Mm-hmm. The Browns, I mean, if anything, the Browns have a lot to fucking build on after this year.
For sure.
You just get a real solid backup behind Deshaun Watson, and, you guys can do whatever you want.
Right.
Joe Burrow will be healthy. The Dolphins are probably going to improve. The Jets are going to be back with Aaron Rodgers. Like, it's just, right now, I feel like if there is a playoffs that if Lamar Jackson retires without a ring, I think we look back on this playoffs right here as the one that he should have won.
I do agree with that. This is one of the first circumstances I remember where it's basically one team in each conference.
Yeah.
I've never seen it so just loud and clear that this is the best team in the AFC, this is the best team in the NFC. We've gotten in one or the other before, but ultimately it's not very often that you have a clear-cut best offense in the playoffs and best defense in the playoffs,
right.
Or at least within one team of that.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Speaking of, Lamar Jackson's most likely going to win MVP. I mean, we were going to have a whole segment on that. But I'm proud of the guy. Second MVP. Wasn't even supposed to do all this. Really great team. I hope the best for him, but it's
it's on a team where he didn't need to have an MVP season to still be in the same position there too. So
proved a lot, man. Took that contract, that big contract, betted on himself sitting out last year. Did his thing. I mean, Baltimore paid him. He paid them back by giving him his best year. And I mean, I get it. He doesn't have as many touchdowns as you'd like, but literally it's because he's giving Gus Edwards the ball in the end zone as a difference to like Jalen Hurts and Josh Allen who just take their touchdowns. That's the only reason why Lamar Jackson's stats don't look as good as those two.
Right.
I don't know that Gus Edwards has a single touchdown outside of like the 5-yard line, let alone the 2-yard line.
He was such a great fantasy pickup, man.
Yeah, and you look, he's got 13 touchdowns on the year. So, like, if half of those go to Lamar, it's a clear cut. Nobody's even
this was a landslide a couple weeks ago. Yeah,
right. Nobody's having a conversation for weeks that there's even a second place. But ultimately, it came kind of to the wire. It took that performance last week against the Dolphins to really lock it in, but he's locked it in.
Yeah, so let's talk about Kenny Pickett. Just kidding. I don't feel like we should talk about Kenny Pickett.
No, that was enough talking about it.
He's poop.
That's just about enough. That if they don't make the playoffs, that's enough of the Steelers for this year. Please close the book. Who are they playing?
Ravens Saturday.
Yeah, they're going up against.
All right, Ravens backups. Close the book on the
Tyler Huntley, Pro Bowler, I guess.
Pour it out segment. We're pouring it out for Russell Wilson. And hold on.
You gotta do all that.
All right, cool.
Pour it in the crack of the table.
Yeah.
You could have done it anywhere else on that table.
Well, that's Russell Wilson and the Denver Broncos right there. So this is our Pour It Out segment. So as you guys know, we do it on all the episodes. We do a Pour It Out segment for, the end of an era or the end of a player if they retire, a coach or whatever. This time it's Russell Wilson on the Denver Broncos. So, it all started when Russell Wilson and the Seahawks announced that they were going to finally split apart after all these years of Russell Wilson, looking like an MVP, tearing up the world, winning one Super Bowl, one of the best teams of all time. Goes to the Broncos. They give up a lot. They give up picks. They give up, future players. They give up a huge-ass contract to Russell Wilson. And then last year, they hired Nathaniel Hackett for whatever reason to ring in that era. Well, not for whatever reason. Before he got hired, he was, I guess, he was the guy. But, that happens. They failed to score 18 points for a while. And then, Russell Wilson looks horrible. He looks like he doesn't even care. And then come into this season, Sean Payton rides in on the Bronco, hair flowing. Strong-chested. Everything's going to be all right. I think they lose, the first 5 games? They lose by 50 to the Dolphins. It was shitty.
They got hot.
And then they turned it around. They got hot. For whatever reason, Russell Wilson was starting to get a little bit of MVP chatter. And then all of a sudden he lost one game, and then he was benched for the year. Illegally, maybe legally. Who the hell knows? And that era is done because he's going to get cut, and that's it.
Yeah, ultimately.
What could have been?
It's weird. I have a lot of questions that we're not going to get answers to. But this guy did put up good stats over the course of the year. Ends the year with 8 interceptions, which is only one more than Lamar. 2 touchdowns more than Lamar. Given the rushing stats were wildly different, I don't know, Lamar had 5 touchdowns to Russell Wilson's 3 touchdowns, but also he's playing on a much shittier offense. I'd say Russell Wilson did more with what he had than almost any quarterback in the league this year and still gets rewarded with a nice benching for it.
Yeah.
It's unreal how defunct the Broncos are right now. And I don't know what their path is to success, but they think it might be Jarrett Stidham. Good for them. Good luck.
Yeah. How do you feel about it? The whole thing.
I think...
Start to finish.
I'll just also add, as an AFC team, I like what's going on with the Broncos because that means there's only 14 other teams we got to get past.
Right. Well, I would say...
13. 14.
I would say that I'm very intrigued on what Denver does over the offseason to see if they get Bo Nix or they move up to get Drake May or Caleb Williams.
Move up to get what? They don't even have a first to...
No, they have a
first.
Their
first.
Do they? They have their first.
Okay.
So, yeah,
Which is why when they were losing, I was like...
This makes sense,
because they were ripping apart their team.
Right.
I was like, all right, they're mailing it in. They're gonna get the a good pick.
Now,
Caleb Williams, maybe Sean Payton. Like, okay.
If you could look up if Jerry Jeudy's a free agent or not.
He's not. He's got one
fifth year, so they'll probably trade Jeudy. Like to get up, they'd have to move up Jeudy. Yeah. They'd have to trade Jeudy.
Whatever picks
first round pick, right? The first round pick, the second round pick to go up because I think that's what they need. Also, I'm intrigued to see. I don't think they could be.
The Bears would take that.
Yeah, I think the Bears...
Do they?
Jerry... I think
and
the Bears...
14th pick in the draft?
No, they have the 8th pick right now.
The Bears...
I got them at...
They don't have the 8th pick right now?
I got them at 14 right now. At 8-8. There are 12 teams, 7-9 or worse.
Okay.
So right now they're sitting at 14.
Word. So I think...
Okay.
So but they would have to take... It would be second round pick, 2 or first round pick. Let's just say it's a second round pick, first round pick.
But the Bears are next year something that improves their offense.
Next year, third and Jeudy, right?
Yeah.
So...
I don't know, man. I think they're going to get a haul.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I think they'll get a lot more. But I'm just saying, let's say... But what makes me more intrigued, though, is like, no team is going to take on that contract from Russ.
Yeah,
so
it's a hit right to Denver, bro.
They're going to cut Russ, right? So I'm intrigued to see where Russ goes. He could go maybe to Atlanta. Maybe
it's going to be his last win.
Giants. I mean... Yeah, that's really the Commanders, he's not going to the fucking...
Because here's my thing, man. Do I necessarily agree with the sudden benching? No. But it's on par for what the fucking Broncos are doing this whole year. Like, for me, Russell Wilson I don't think he's going to win a Super Bowl the rest of his career. I don't think unless there's like a team that's like absolutely stacked around him, I don't see like Russell Wilson being a factor for the rest of his career. So it's kind of like, bro, like we're paying you all this money. We paid you this money to come in and be a superstar. Your stats were okay this year. But, like, you could tell going forward, like, you're not going to, like, win us anything. So, yeah, please take a pay cut. Let's actually build this team and see what happens. And he said no, and they're like, all right, well, if we're going to cut you, we might as well, just fucking sit you down. I mean, I don't know. I think it's ass. I think Sean Payton came into this very, very aggressively when he should have just been aggressive in the offseason. Like, if you wanted to do... Like, if you really didn't want to play with Russell Wilson, you should have just gotten rid of him.
Right.
Like, he was criticizing Russell Wilson from before the season even started, saying he was kissing babies, like, too worried about all that shit. Like, that he was, basically saying he's soft. Like, you should have just done all this
wristband comments. It was all over the place.
Like, you should have just done this in the offseason. Like,
but why did you wait? Who would have traded for Russ?
Cutting would have been crazy 3 seasons deep, but...
Well, no, I don't think they should have done... They wanted to see how it would work, and obviously it didn't, so now I think Russ should go, to Atlanta or go somewhere else. And
that's the thing. I think that NFC South is still just so bad. And I don't really know how it gets much better unless Atlanta takes a huge step with a different coach.
Oh, Arthur Smith's got to go.
Yeah.
That's what
Russell Wilson in Pittsburgh.
Russ in Pittsburgh, too.
I can see that.
I can see that.
That would be... I'd be a little bit more scared of Pittsburgh than I am right now.
I'd be scared of Pittsburgh, for sure. I don't want that to happen.
Right.
Keep Kenny, but they'll probably get him.
Not Kenny... we're not talking about
please keep Kenny. Just please keep Kenny.
Keep Kenny, please.
Locked in 99.
The lack of fear I have going into the game, knowing Kenny 2 gloves is going to be out there. Like, come on. But if they have Russ there, and they get another offensive coordinator, like, that's a tough team right there.
Yeah, that is a lot more scary than anything that they could come up with the current roster. But sure. I don't know. I think he's got a couple different destinations. I could also see him kind of holding out and waiting for something devastating to happen. Another team that would end up being basically a quarterback away. If you look at
he's insanely rich regardless. Like, honestly, he could probably just ride off into the sunset and that's it.
Sierra.
Yeah.
He won't.
Like, bro, he
won't do that, though.
I know, but beautiful family, millions and millions and millions of dollars. Like, you don't need the stress. Like,
it's crazy because I didn't like Russell Wilson coming into the season, and I got a lot of respect for how he played this situation out.
Yeah.
And ultimately how he stuck with the Broncos through the Broncos sucking, and then ends up turning them around quite a bit. I think the Broncos should keep Russell Wilson. I think they're a better team if they keep him. I think they do have a chance at something, but not with the... I don't know. If they move on to him, that's just more defunct.
While Russell Wilson did, on paper, have good stats, it was still really hard to watch the guy this year.
Well, it wasn't even the guy, though. I think Sean Payton's offense needs to be...
I don't know, because Sean Payton, in my honest opinion, is responsible for the resurgence of the Broncos mid-year. Like, they got rid of this
How
thing.
Is he more
but I think his coaching
he made it more
improved.
simplistic, though. It was like the offense doesn't do it. Like, it's a lot of inside zone, play action crosser, fade route. It's very, very boring offense. And they can't really run the football. You know what I'm saying? So.
And they got a good running back.
Yeah.
But I mean, we'll see what happens on the Sean Payton side, but at least we got the "Let's Ride" quote out of Russell Wilson. We'll take that. Mm-hmm. Pour it out, Russell Wilson. Bears lock up the number 1 pick.
Yeah, this is a good concept.
This is scary.
What do you think they do next year?
They fire Eberflus.
No, they said they're keeping him.
I didn't hear
Honestly, they've played so much better. I'm not against that anymore.
Well, they need a different offensive coordinator.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Okay, they need a different offensive coordinator.
Well,
and they need to trade that first round. No, he needs to go. There's no way. He needs to go. I don't care how.
I want to know what their intentions are first.
They might still bring in Bieniemy.
I think he might want a head coaching job, but maybe that's cool. But I'm saying he needs to go. Like, I don't care how he's looked lately. Like, that they need something new there. Okay. I'm not They might even bring Greg Roman back.
Yeah.
Not back, but like the Greg Roman, he was the OC with Baltimore, and Lamar won an MVP with. They might get Greg Roman in there, maybe.
They could
keep it simplistic. But I think they trade that. They definitely trade the first overall pick and go back with Justin Fields, and get a haul. Because
Because they're not going to get a haul for Justin Fields the way that they would get a haul for this
Caleb
first
Williams,
pick, bro.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Like you know how many teams? I looked at it yesterday. There's like 7 teams that need.
The Bears, I know they're going to be like low, like on draft day, like they're going to be the busiest.
For sure.
Busiest people.
For sure. And they're not going to obviously hand out their cards right now, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
But I think once draft day comes, I think it's very intrigued to see who gets that over that first one.
And I think that the Bears, at the very least, you keep Justin Fields. I mean, I think the last few weeks have proved that he can win games in the NFL as long as has himself is healthy and the people around him are healthy. He's had a couple of really phenomenal games this year. He went and faced the Lions twice and almost beat them twice.
Yeah.
I think I've seen what I need to see for Justin Fields, man.
Yeah.
I think you're your guy. He did his thing.
And that's my guy.
It's just he's always going to be that quarterback that's going to need so much around him, though. That's not going to change, I don't think.
Okay.
Unless he,
I feel like that's every quarterback.
Unless it's like Josh Allen and he gets like a very top of the top wide receiver.
I think DJ Moore's that guy. I think
DJ Moore is that guy.
He's having a better season than Stephon Diggs.
Yeah,
he's having a better season than most people.
But it was like
DJ Moore's a dog.
But it was like Steven Diggs like completely elevated Josh Allen to like MVP quarterback.
I feel you.
You know what I mean? Like he needs like one of those wide receivers.
You think?
Yeah, I mean,
I don't think so. I think DJ Moore's a guy out there, bro.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see.
He's underrated.
We'll see because I like what I like. The Bears remind me of like the Lions last year.
The Lions last year, okay.
Like the Lions, like even though they didn't make the playoffs, they showed me a fucking lot in the end of the season with when it was all put together.
I feel you.
And now that the Bears are all put together, dang, they could have done something this year, bro.
The NFC North's legit, bro. Like Vikings, Packers. Lions, Bears. If everyone's healthy next year,
oh my god, bro! If Kirk Cousins was healthy, he probably would have taken home the MVP like easily, bro. Like with how up in the air it was, he might, and where his stats were when he got hurt.
I don't know where he would have been without Jefferson on the year.
True.
What do you mean, bro? When Jefferson went down, he started playing like the best football of his career with those guys.
I hear you. Was that sustainable?
Jefferson comes back.
He does eventually. But I'm just saying, I don't know if it ends up being an MVP season. He would have had a good season. And frankly, Vikings would have been in the playoffs. There's no question about it.
Yeah.
And they're a team I'm afraid of in the playoffs, too.
And then like the Packers, bro, they're doing pretty good, man. That division is pretty stacked. So, yeah, I hope that they trade the number 1 pick. I would say trade the number 1 pick for a whole bunch of assets next year and 1 offensive player. And then just draft defensive players with the rest of your draft. Because, like, if all else fails, you'll get picks for next year. Like, if Justin Fields really isn't your quarterback, that's what I would do. Because at this point, it's nice.
Let me just ask this. Why do the Bears win more games without Fields than they do with Fields? Since he's become the starter,
is that
they're
true?
Like, it's 100% true. They're
but
500.
I mean, like, but let's talk about this year when they've had talent on their team.
Let's talk about it. Yes, they won the last 2 weeks, but before that, he was 3-7 as a starter this year. So if you feel he has talent this year, which I'll question, he's got DJ Moore. That's talent, but beyond DJ Moore, what does he have? I don't think Darnell Mooney's talent. I don't think Cole Kmet is quite talent. I think Cole Kmet's
cool.
He's not bad.
Cool Kmet.
I think Fields makes Kmet decent. You saw Kmet doesn't do anything with anybody else. Yeah. So I don't know. I wouldn't say that he had a ton of talent around him, but
this is hands down the most talent he's ever had.
Yeah, he's
by
looked
a landslide.
A ton better. Even in the last 5 starts, beat Minnesota, beat Detroit, lost to Cleveland close, beat Arizona, beat Atlanta. Like there's nobody in there. Detroit's a really good team. But
like I said, that first game against Detroit, he almost got out of that with a win too.
Correct. So yeah, you can even stretch it back. Like it was 1 possession games that he lost in the 2 before that, and then he smashed Washington before that. So the first 4 absolute duds. Since then, it's been better, but he's still got an overall very losing record.
And he's going to have that when he's on the Bears.
I hear you, but that's the Bears that...
He'll probably have that next year, too.
So, yeah, I just don't know. I think if Dom is right and what he told me, that Caleb Williams is a top 3 quarterback in the NFL, how do you pass that up? How many opportunities do you get to get a top 3 quarterback in the NFL?
I mean, Josh Fields' ceiling
is a locker room thing. You got to check the locker room. No, the locker room loves Justin.
I hear you, but if Caleb Williams is the top 3 quarterback in the NFL, they're gonna love him too.
I get it.
I think after this year, I'm not saying I pass on Caleb Williams if I'm the number 1 team, but if I'm the Bears, because I have Justin Fields, I pass on Caleb Williams this year.
I hear you based on the haul that you should be able to get for that, but frankly, if they don't get 3 first-round picks for him.
But do you and now hear me out. I don't think Caleb Williams is a good fit for the Bears because with everything that he's been through in the last year, Caleb Williams, he needs to go into a situation where it's not, okay, we got rid of Justin Fields for you. You better fucking perform.
Not so much pressure. Not that much pressure.
You better fucking perform or all of Chicago's about to fucking...
I get it, but that Bears team is more talented than anybody that's ever in position to get a number 1 pick.
No, I think
you don't get to walk into a number 1 pick with 7 wins.
Anybody can get that pick.
I don't think that's true.
Anyone besides maybe the best teams in the league where their picks aren't going to hit, bro?
Who? Can you name any teams that picked number 1 any kind of recently that has a better team than the Bears has right now?
Has a better team than
any Bears. Team that picked number 1 recently. So let me pull up recent number 1 NFL picks. So if we look at, all right, the Jaguars last year and the year prior, they turned it around big time. Don't get me wrong, but we're looking at Jags,
Bengals.
The Bengals when Joe Burrow got there. Cardinals when they picked Kyler. Browns when they got Baker. Browns when they got Miles. Goff when we went to the Rams. Any of those teams at that time.
No, you're right. I agree with you.
They all turned things around. So here's the thing. None of those teams are as bad as I was expecting that list to be. Right. But I stand by it. The Bears are better in their current form.
The rest of those drafts where... I agree with you. I agree with you, but at the same time, it's like...
And I understand anybody can go get it right now.
Anybody can. Anybody can just throw them a whole ton of picks and 1 really good player or 2 really good players.
But what I'm telling you is the Bears are the only ones that have 100% choice. They are the only ones that have any kind of control as to whether or not they pick Caleb Williams. Everybody else has a shot, don't get me wrong. But it's a negotiation. Everybody's going to play some kind of hardball and think, oh, no, there's no way somebody else is offering you 3 first-round picks.
It's going to be like a fucking bidding war, most likely.
Right, but everybody's going to call bullshit on a bidding war when you get to a certain price. And everybody's going to really be on a very short leash as a GM if Caleb Williams doesn't perform right away and you traded 3 or 4 first-round picks for him. So nobody's going to want to do it.
And then it's even worse if the Bears pick him and he sucks and they gave up Justin Fields and he goes off for some other team.
Right.
And, yeah.
Here's the thing. In my opinion, I think maybe you keep the first pick. You take Caleb Williams. If he's as good as you think he is. I don't think he is. So I don't think this is the right move. But if he's going to be that good, you gotta take Caleb with that number 1 pick. Use Justin Fields and your other first to move up. And if you can move up to number 2 after Caleb's already gone, that number 2 is going to be a lot cheaper. Use it to move up, get Marvin Harrison. You got Caleb Williams, Marvin Harrison Jr., and DJ Moore.
Who's that number 2 right now?
At the number 2 pick right now?
I think it's the Commanders, no?
I got it up. That's the wrong page. Yeah, it's Commanders right now. Who, by all means, anybody could use Marvin Harrison Jr.
No,
they don't need him.
They don't know.
That's not the right pick for them.
They need Jesus, bro.
Who's at the 3?
New England.
Bro, if I'm Washington, I'm grabbing...
New England needs a quarterback. Number 4, we got Arizona Cardinals. They could use him, but... Yeah, they could really use him, actually. Yeah. So
they'd be perfect for that.
So you're going to have to trade ahead of them, and Bears right now are at the number 10 pick. It's not going to take an absolute mortgage on the next 3 seasons for you to trade from number 10 to number 3.
I just think you'll get more from just trading the pick than actually getting Caleb and then trading after. I think you'll just get a lot.
If you fully believe that Caleb Williams is the top 3 quarterback in the NFL, I don't think you'd say that. I think you got a little doubt creeping in.
No. That's exactly what I'm saying, though. That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. I think he's a top 3 quarterback. That's why I think you get a lot more for trading him.
I mean,
just because I think he's a top 3 quarterback.
Prospect, I don't think he's top 3 quarterback. First off,
just because. Well, first of all, I think he's the best prospect since Peyton. I think he's better than T-Law coming out. I think he's better than all of them, right?
I think he'll be better than T-Law, but I don't think he's
that's what I'm
prospect
saying.
than T-Law.
I feel
the idea of Trevor Lawrence
was
better than Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, I feel you.
And I think that's the same thing's going to happen.
Way better than Trevor Lawrence.
But what I'm saying to you is, I think because of what I think of Caleb is why I think they'll get so much for the pick. Just because
I'm with you. I think he's 3 first-round picks.
That's what I'm saying.
What are those 3 first-round picks going to turn into? And is it... I don't know. Justin Fields is not winning you games. Something's got to give with Justin Fields.
He just won. We just showed that he won.
He's still got a losing record on the season, man. And
yeah.
Whereas everyone else that you put in...
But that's what I'm saying. You
has the 500 record.
I'm not jacking up, bro.
Well, you know what's different?
Hold up.
But you know what's different, though? The difference between the first half of the year and the second half of the year is now Justin Fields has the whole locker room screaming at the organization to re-sign this guy. You finally have a whole locked-in Chicago Bears team for once in your life rallying behind your guy. You don't take Caleb Williams. And my thing is, no offense to Caleb Williams, he had a very rough year. I think there's certain situations he really just shouldn't go to. I don't think he should go to the Commanders. I don't think he should go to the Patriots. I don't think he should go to the Cardinals, Giants, Chargers, Titans. Keep going down that list, bro. We're gonna get to maybe the Jets. I think is a good destination, so he can sit behind Aaron Rodgers for a year.
If you're saying all those bad fits, then my man better be back with USC next year.
I'm just saying, like, if he's thrown into a situation where it's him and a bunch of fucking garbage bags,
that's what the number 1 pick is, man.
But that's what I'm saying. Like a team middle of the road here needs to like.
That's what we said the Steelers and the Denver Broncos because none of those teams, like maybe the Patriots, like. They all know that Caleb won't go to the Commanders and they won't. He could go to the Patriots, but they'll probably get Drake May. The Commanders maybe will get Jane Daniels, but like. They don't like... Yeah. You know what I'm saying? They need a lot more.
I think I'm in an absolute agreement with part of what you're saying and part of what you're saying. And what it boils down to is I don't think Caleb Williams is cut out to be tough enough for the emotions that come with being a number 1 pick.
Oh, my God.
Because if you look at... I'm sorry to call out the Browns here, but look what happened with Baker early on. I don't feel that he was emotionally ready. I think he had every ounce of talent that he needed to be worthy of that pick. I think he had every ounce of talent he needed to turn that organization around. However, he wasn't emotionally ready. Caleb's a young guy. He'll figure it out, but it's not going to be with his first team.
I don't think it's the number 1 pick. I think it's the team itself. Because if he does, for whatever reason, go to the Bears, that's a decent situation for him to be in. It just sucks that it would be so much added pressure because they got rid of Justin Fields or whatever. But if there was none of that, if Justin Fields was just a fucking trash bag this year and they were ready to move on from Justin Fields, I think Caleb Williams will be fucking perfect for Chicago. But those next like 10, 11, 12, 13 teams, bro, I don't know. Like I would love to see honestly like the Saints go up and grab him because at least he'll go in with some talent. Yeah, they're all terrible influences, but I don't know,
man. I think the room,
like the Steelers, like he'd come into some good coaching, like you know, fuck whatever else they got. But Mike Tomlin, you know, whatever team Bill Belichick goes to. I mean, you know, if he ends up taking one of these other terrible teams, you know, just something like or Stafford retires, he goes to the Rams. I don't know, like just some shit like that.
I get it. Yeah. I don't think it's gonna happen. I think Bears stick with it. I think they take him. I think Justin Fields and the other first, number 10 pick as it stands right now overall, which probably isn't gonna stick, but still it's gonna be in that ballpark. I think they trade him and that pick to move back up. I think that's their best path to success. Is they got to reset. I don't think Caleb's going to be good.
So you don't believe
away.
Caleb or Justin, though. That's what I get, though.
I don't. I honestly think both.
Here's the thing: you can't say they have a losing record with Justin Fields and then say they should keep Eberflus and the OC. What I'm saying is that Caleb Williams right, is that special, and Justin Fields is that special too. All you have to do, bro, Justin Fields, all you need is surround him with coaching, and you're fine. You could get a lot more. Yeah. I'm just saying, you could get a lot more for trading Caleb Williams than you could trade Justin Fields because of some of the things you're saying.
Yeah.
So might as well just put coaching around him and trade that first overall pick to someone who, like, bro, you know how much the Steelers would give up? And you know how much Denver would give? We're talking about, like, Minka Fitzpatrick on the table talking. Like, Ryan Pohl's going to say, so what's up with Minka? What's up with like, your star players because of Caleb? Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Like, if the Steelers... I could see the Steelers giving one of their wide receivers...
I said yesterday, Deontay Dropson and fucking picks for fucking Caleb, and they'll take Deontay. Yeah. Deontay, DJ Moore, Darnell Mooney, Cole Kmet. That's a good... That's a good receiving core.
Yeah,
it's not the best receiving core in football, but in the division.
I don't know about that. Jordan Addison and Justin Jefferson aren't better.
And TJ Hawkinson, I get, but second, top five receiving core in the NFC.
You're in the top half of your division. That's great.
I'm just saying,
I'm with you. I understand that.
Kyle Pitts, you could get Kyle Pitts, Cole Kmet.
I think that's where it gets different. 3 picks from the Steelers, 3 first-round picks from the Steelers, I don't think is worth it. But if you start including star players, star names, that can turn that franchise around, some leadership, particularly on the offense side of the ball. I like Minka. I'm still upset Dolphins traded away Minka. But I don't think that's what they need. I think they need something on the offensive side. I think they need some veteran linemen. And I don't know. I want to say veteran receiver, but nobody really comes to mind that's going to be a great head for that room. And I don't know. I think if they can get something on the offensive side of the ball along with a one or a couple ones, then maybe it's different. But and also, I just want to be clear. There's a difference between what they should do and what I think they're gonna do. Because
I think they're not. Here's the thing. There's one other thing too about organizations. They don't dislike being wrong. Trading Justin Fields would show them that they were wrong about drafting him.
I understand.
So that's why that's why I don't think they're going
Did Poles
to
draft Fields?
I think Poles got after, but I don't think the GM. I think the owner fucks with Justin Fields. I think obviously the owner was there when he was there with Justin Fields. But I think Poles was on the staff though. I don't think Poles actually drafted him.
Okay,
but Poles was on
it's
the
still
staff.
Partial,
right? I think Poles was on that staff with Nagy and that other guy and the GM.
Yeah. I think you're right.
Nothing's worse than the Giants and Daniel Jones. Who's winning the AFC South?
I have
Jags.
Yeah, I have the Jags too.
I got the Texans. And the reason why I got the Texans is because I think the Titans with nothing to play for, I think they're like it's perfect for like the meme of Will Levis to shine greatly here. Beat the Jaguars, and then the Texans, they take care of the Colts early. And I think the Texans take the division. I think CJ Stroud, those guys in Houston, I think they're primed and ready for this. I think.
I love CJ. I just sadly think the Colts are just playing better football right now.
They could be. I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that.
And the game is in Lucas Oil Stadium. Like
it's a tough place to play.
It gets rowdy in there, bro. In Saturday night football, it's just them.
It's just I don't know if you could say the Colts are playing their best football because I mean a 3-point win over the Raiders and then getting smoked by the Falcons.
They won the game. They won that game.
Okay.
That game wasn't that close.
Yeah.
The Falcons okay, cool. What was the week before that?
They dominated the Steelers, which you got a point there. But they were on a run then. I don't know, man. It's the script. It's fate. And that's all I got to say about that.
If they had Tank Dell, I'm with you.
No, they don't, though.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm not with you. That's why I'm not with you. So.
Yeah, Stroud lost a little bit of his rhythm, which is understandable when you're coming back, probably still hurt. So ultimately, it's tough to bounce back from a concussion like that. So I don't know. I think I've got the Colts winning that matchup. So I'm in agreement with you, Dom, on that. But above all else, I got the Jags beating Titans, so that makes it not even really matter.
I can see the Titans of Tannehill. I don't know. I can see the Titans.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because Will Levis isn't playing. Yeah. It's Ryan Tannehill. Yeah. And what better way to just go out? Because I don't know if any team picks up fucking Ryan Tannehill.
He'll be a backup.
I think he'll be some irrelevant backup. I don't know if he sees the field again. Maybe we'll see. But
Tannehill?
Yeah,
he'll see the field.
I don't know.
Tannehill on a good team.
I can see him in Denver. Denver be like, some people be like, I love Tannehill. Come over here. Do whatever I tell you to do.
I love Tannehill.
That sounds like the classic Denver move. Get Ryan Tannehill.
Alright, but still, like, Tannehill, like...
But Derrick Henry's last game in the Titans uniforms...
That's what I'm saying, like, the last game for Henry, the last game for Tannehill, you know, Hopkins out there still trying to fucking prove something. Like, you know what, why not?
Next year, though,
like, let's just stick it to the Jags. The Jags probably at some point talked mad shit about the Titans, and they're probably mad. Last year happened. I don't know,
Tennessee.
Bro. Like,
no, the game is.
I feel like they're about to just walk in there and it's the Jags, bro. Like, I don't know. Considering how bad the Jags season is ending, I really just want to be sure.
I'm not ruling that out, but I do think the Jags get their shit together a bit here. I think Trevor Lawrence taking last week off will allow him to come back healthier. I understand.
I don't know if a healthy Trevor Lawrence matters anymore, man.
They're really hobbling into this last week. Like, if you look back, we're talking to the beginning of December. Lost to the Bengals in overtime, lost to the Browns close, lost to the Ravens by a decent amount, lost to the Buccaneers by a decent amount, and then smashed the hell out of the Panthers, but that kind of doesn't count. So,
you talking about the Texans? The Texans-Brown game should not have been that close. But yeah, I'm with you.
Texans, no, that was Jags. Jags
Browns
were close. It was 31-27.
It wasn't really that close.
It shouldn't have been, but it ended up being close. They scored a last-minute touchdown. 1:33 left. They brought it within 4. I mean, that's still close.
Sure.
I understand they got outplayed there as well, but like overall, they were outplayed like hell in the whole stretch. But Trevor Lawrence has obviously been hurting. I think him getting back healthy. Evan Engram has woken up. Calvin Ridley has become a bit more consistent when Lawrence is playing. Mm-hmm. So they have enough, and they're equipped to particularly beat the Tennessee Titans secondary.
Yeah.
It's just whether or not they play at least half of what they're capable of.
And defensively, it's all about stopping the run. I don't see what
yeah. That. And Titans haven't necessarily ran the ball super well this year. Henry barely topped 1,000 yards. Mm-hmm. And when you have 261 carries, that's not a great place to be. He's 3.8 or somewhere around there per carry. Mm-hmm. I don't love the Titans in any way, shape, or form, but it's really whether or not the Jags are going to blow it.
Right. I'm with you on that.
I don't think they do.
Cool. All right, so I'll skip the who needs a change of scenery. We'll do that next.
I had Derrick Henry though. About that.
Oh, okay. I had Kyler Murray.
Really?
Yeah.
Just hit the Derrick Henry bit because it kind of flows in, and then we can just.
Yeah, I just think Derrick Henry. I don't know what the Titans get for Derrick Henry.
Nothing. He's a free agent.
Oh,
they should have.
So he'll probably be a Raven. So there you go. He'll be the Gus Bus.
Bro, he was so close to being on a really good team in the offseason. I hate that for him.
They should have traded him at the deadline, if nothing else.
Yeah.
Like, they weren't playing for anything, really, so I don't understand it.
We're going to play Built Different or Not.
Okay.
So how that is I'm just going to randomize 5 players, and we're going to say whether they're built different or not for whatever reasons we have. All right? Complete legit randomization. All right? Antonio Brown.
He's built very different.
In a good way or...
Absolutely not.
Nah, I think Antonio Brown is one of the biggest tragedies of the NFL.
Yeah.
Like, definitely. I don't think he's built different anymore. But when he was on the field, man...
He was built different on the field, and he's built different off the field in just a different way.
Just shoving his ass in... yeah.
That's
you didn't see that video?
Shoving his...
He shoved his ass in a woman's face in a hotel pool, bro.
Oh, yeah.
First person to do that and kind of get away with it since Peyton Manning.
Wow. That's that's built different, but no comment.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Built different for sure.
All right, Bobby Wagner.
He was built different.
Now, are we talking about current estate right now, or overall?
Just Bobby Wagner.
I mean, he was different, but now he's regs.
Yeah. I think, he was one of the better defensive players when he was,
pivotal role on one of the better
Seahawks,
defenses that we've seen in our generation.
I just think that was more of a combined effort, so I'm going to say no. Yeah. Okay. I like Bobby Wagner, no, don't get me wrong.
He played a big role on the Rams team, too. Like,
we got to keep this built different.
It's a high standard. We got
to treat it like the Hall of Fame.
It's a high standard.
Yeah.
You're right.
But he was at that bar, if not above it.
For sure. He was there. Yeah. He was there.
If not bouncing it.
Yeah. Alvin Kamara.
Built different.
Oh, he beat the shit out of someone in the offseason, didn't he?
That guy's built different now too.
Yeah, no, you don't fuck with that guy.
that guy
And he beat the shit out of someone, came back from suspension, scored some touchdowns. Actually had a cool year this year.
Yeah, on a pretty garbage Saints team, he had a good year. So Alvin Kamara's back to being built different. He was built different his rookie year. The year after that, fell off a little bit, but now he's back to being built different.
Sometimes all you need to do is go to jail.
Just a little bit of jail.
Yeah, he's a little bit of jail. Yeah.
Oh well, Drew Brees.
He's built very different.
I don't like Drew Brees.
I don't like him. He tried out for Miami, and we ended up with Dante Cole.
I think it's very overrated. I think he won that Super Bowl because of the Hurricane Katrina script, and that's all I gotta say. Drew Brees is not.
We got our tinfoil hats on. I understand.
I think he's built different. You know how many records he has, bro? You know how many top 10?
He only has records because he just played for a while and was a serviceable quarterback.
You know, a lot of people play for a while, and not many get those.
I don't
records.
know. Not as long as Drew Brees.
Not Jeff Driscoll. He's special, bro. He's built different, bro.
Jeff Driscoll.
Yeah.
All right, man.
Take the Browns money line this week.
Is he,
right here.
He's the quarterback this week?
Yeah.
I was like, yo, bro, we not serious. I think we just wanted to do that to be cool or something. I don't even know what it is.
Because that would be your fifth different quarterback, right?
Yeah,
fifth different quarterback. Yeah. I think that's incredible. Yeah. And if they gotta have, they don't gotta have. They're not really playing for anything, but I would think they have some kind of faith in him. Put him out there like that.
No, if to play him over PJ Walker, we just picked him up Sunday.
That's incredible. I love
He's
that.
He's an old Driscoll.
This is like that Josh Dobbs game. He's gonna be. Tell him what the play is.
People are going to be like, so he starts Jeff Driscoll going into the wild card? Jeff Driscoll?
Better than Joe Flacco? Right. That's crazy.
That's funny.
All right, J.J. Watt as our last person. I think built different, man.
You think?
Yeah.
No, he should have won MVP one year, bro.
Yo, I agree with that. That's the point I was just getting ready to make.
2 or 3 receiving touchdowns.
Should have been an MVP. I think just an absolute beast. I think it was really sad to see the way that he went out, especially with how bad the Texans ended up and then his injuries on top of it. I love J.J. Watt. I think T.J. Watt's boring.
I agree.
Yeah.
Like T.J. Watt's a monster.
But JJ's
might be better than J.J. But
JJ's more of a person. I
love J. I love me some J.J. You know,
I love JJ.
Broken face, just out there, just doing his thing.
2 questions. Who do you have for Defensive Player of the Year out of T.J. Watt or Myles Garrett?
Myles Garrett, I don't care that T.J. Watt's stats are better. I care that Myles Garrett's influence on the Browns was better.
Yeah, so like my coach said, he's the best player on the best defense in the league.
I agree with that. I think that makes it a 50-50 shot just because of the production, but I'm leaning Garrett as well.
Right.
I think the production that Watt has is only because the Steelers' defense is on the field a whole lot more than the Browns' defense is.
Correct.
So
you know how many 3 and outs we have?
Oh my god, bro!
T.J. Watt's played a whole less game. He sat 1 game out this year. I don't think Garrett missed any at all, right?
No.
So and maybe he does this week. Who knows?
He does.
But
he's not playing this week.
Yeah. So that evens it out.
Rest. He's gonna be sitting in his.
But even going into this week, Watt still played 50 more snaps than Garrett did, even while playing 1 less game.
Right.
So it's
a great point that not a lot of people are mentioning.
Yeah, I think that needs to be considered, and like you said, he's a leader. He's changing that defense. He makes that defense good.
This defense of the Browns was literally generational this year. I hope I hope this Browns defense is remembered in fucking history because of just
for sure
how much shit y'all went through, and I'm marveling over it.
We should have comeback player of the year, just the defense.
Yeah, right.
Because it was so bad last year.
The only issue that's gonna if you guys didn't give up crazy ass points in that little stretch, that's the only thing that could stop it.
Right.
Broncos 29 points, Rams 36, and Jags 27.
And that's in the Colts game too.
Yeah, that was a little bit of a different area, but agreed. That obvious 38
that close
points.
Game was nuts. It was 39.
That was one of the most fun games.
That's why I don't want to see him.
Yeah,
and then Sean Watson had still 100 and some yards.
No, he got hurt within 2.
Or whoever the quarterback was.
PJ
Walker.
Walker.
He had 100 and some yards.
PJ
I'm
Walker.
bro, that doesn't even make sense.
Yeah.
One of the most fun games of the year. But yeah, if it weren't for those, I think we're looking at this as one of the best of all time.
Right.
But those exist, so it's just going to be remembered as very good instead of incredibly great.
Right. I can agree.
All right. And the other one, but I don't even have to get there, is if you're starting a team with one defensive player, Myles Garrett or TJ Watt.
Myles Garrett again, man.
And we don't even have to really dive into it.
And he's hitting dudes with helmets.
It's Myles.
That's he's
the reason.
That's what I want. TJ Watt ain't hitting nobody with a helmet in his career,
he has
bro.
closing brands with Mark Wahlberg, too.
Oh, yeah.
That's good. That's good. And he's the reason that Mason Rudolph is built different.
Mason Rudolph came back
and he owns
bugging.
And he owns the Cavs. He has partner ownership of the Cavs.
Mason Rudolph came back trying to get the Steelers to the playoffs. I'm dead.
So, Bill's block this week is purely for tournament play. Would not recommend this in a cash lineup. I'm telling you, this isn't going to cash, so it doesn't have to count against my overall record. Because we had a hell of a year. We made a lot of money. And this is either going to win you $1 million or probably...
hold on. Before Bill continues, what a hell of a fucking year for the podcast. For those that watched, we won bets. We went 5-0. We had 5 touchdowns. Bill's block was hitting. Yeah. Our predictions were coming true.
Bill's block only missed 3 times on the whole year. And it was... and those were all in the second half of the year, too. So we were on a real heater. If you bankrolled that instead of just putting a unit on each, you would have done very, very well for yourselves. So at quarterback, and you'll see right away why I'm not putting this in a cash lineup. We got Carson Wentz against the San Francisco 49ers. Carson Wentz, you don't have to stack with because I think he's going to get it done on the ground this week. I've got Jordan Mason as my starting running back against the Rams. I've got Devon Achane up against the Bills. Miami needs him to have a big game. They don't stand a chance without getting the run game going. They really did get it going last week. If you're going to beat the Bills anywhere, that's a decent place to do it. I've got DK Metcalf. Seattle does need to win in order to even have snowball's chance. So they're going to bank on their guy, DK Metcalf. I've got Gabe Davis. I think Jalen Ramsey is going to shadow with Xavier Howard being out. So he'll be on Diggs, which will leave Davis covered by Kader Kovu. It's a great matchup to go deep against. Plenty of teams have done it anytime we have one corner out. So I do think Gabe Davis gets it done this week. CeeDee Lamb against Commanders. You got so much money to play with because of who we're taking up at the top of the lineup that you might as well lock CeeDee Lamb in. He is going to be the number 1 receiver on the slate. And you got Taysom Hill at tight end. Again, we're swinging for the fences here. Why not take a guy who might end up throwing passes at tight end? And we've got DeAndre Hopkins up against Jacksonville. Jacksonville's been bleeding points to wide receiver, so we take Hopkins there. And we have the Las Vegas Raiders up against Denver's backup quarterback. I don't even know who it is. You know who Denver's backup quarterback is?
Jarrett Stidham.
Jarrett Stidham's getting the start. We did talk about that. So I trust anybody against Jarrett Stidham. Plus, the Raiders' defense has scored 4 touchdowns in the past 3 weeks. So lock them in. That wraps up Bill's block.
Oh, man. Clapping cheeks. Psych, no. But, that was great. Like I said, shout out to Bill giving us all of those winning Bills blocks this year. We're here for it. But there's one last 5 wins, 5 touchdowns that we got for you. We've actually recorded an episode last week that I never released because, I'm a bum. So here's the updated record after that. And this is our last week. Let's see who gets the W, boys. So with that being said, my 5 teams that I'm going for, it's another weird week, but we got nothing but weird weeks this year. So I'm going with the Texans to beat the Colts. They're only a 1-point favorite right now, so I'm digging that, loving that. This is where shit gets crazy. So there's a lot of crazy games here. How are this? Okay, are the Seahawks resting their starters? Is that why they're only a 2.5 favorite over the Cardinals?
No, their Cardinals have just been playing good. They don't have anything to rest for. Seattle's got to win to have even a chance.
That's true. I'm going with the Seahawks over the Cardinals. I really can't see the Cardinals pulling out that game, and I could imagine they're going to do everything they can to lose that game. So that's 2 games for me. I got the Dolphins over the Bills. I think even though it can knock the Bills out of the playoffs, I don't think it will. I just think Josh Allen's going to choke with the game on the line. Let's see. Carson Wentz versus Sam Darnold. Is that viable?
That's a real deal, yeah.
You know what? We're going with the 49ers. I got the 49ers to beat up Carson Wentz. Who knows if Carson Wentz even makes it through a quarter of that game. You know, he might have a really fucking shitty game. That's actually pretty crazy. And you know what? To the biggest fuck you to the Falcons fans, I think the Falcons are going to beat the Saints. I get it. The Saints are playing for the division, but I think one big fuck you would be the Falcons winning this game to show their fans that they could have won the division if they, you know, just got their head out of their ass. So that's my 5.
Okay. All right. I'll take it from here. I've got the Steelers taking down the Ravens. I think the Steelers have a lot to play for, and ultimately the Ravens don't have anything to play for. I think they're going to rest enough people and preserve enough in-game strategy where they're really going to go out very vanilla and not do what they can to take down the Steelers. So I think they're not afraid of facing the Steelers in the playoffs, so why not let them squeak in if they have the opportunity to? So I do have Steelers taking that game. I've got the Lions over the Vikings. Lions, I think, are too prideful and need a little bit of momentum after the way last week went down to let that Vikings team beat them, especially with Nick Mullins stepping back in at quarterback. I think I got the odds before that happened because I'm betting that those odds went down for the Vikings after hearing that Mullins is going to start. I've got the Saints over the Falcons.
Is Teddy Bridgewater starting for the Lions?
Oh, he retired, good.
No, he's retiring after this year.
I would.
He might be.
I wouldn't be surprised if they start him because the Lions have nothing to play for right here besides ending the Vikings season.
I think that's really all they need.
I think it's Tua's first Pro Bowl selection. We just announced it. So congrats, man. Congrats.
Nice. That's cool. Good. That's good. Yeah, cool. Last I knew he was like leading in votes, so that's cool and all. Yeah. But we need something a little better than the Pro Bowl for me to feel good about the season.
Yeah, that's a start, man.
Yeah, you gotta start somewhere. We'll take it.
2
be happy with it.
To Pro Bowl, man.
Yep. I've got the Raiders over the Broncos and Jarrett Stidham for all the reasons I talked about with their defense. Their defense playing out of their mind, so I like that game a lot. Odds are oddly not that crazy for the Raiders to win, so I definitely like that one. And I got the Dolphins money line over the Bills.
Hey, I like that. I got the Texans over the Colts. Even though I do think the Colts, like I said, I keep saying I think the Colts win.
Little reverse things.
Yeah. I got the Saints winning actually against the Falcons. I have the Bears beating the Lions. They're too hot right now.
Bears over Packers.
My fault, Bears over Packers. My fault, Bears over Packers.
Make it so
Jordan Love's hot too.
Yeah.
Packers aren't going to the playoffs?
Packers aren't going to the playoffs.
That's the only way Seattle makes it right there is if that happens. So.
And then
Cardinals?
I got the Cardinals over the Seahawks.
What?
Yeah, I think it's in Arizona. I think
Kyler Murray is playing for his next team. I feel so.
And hey,
I think he won the audition already, but
damn, if those things happen and AFC South gets a second team in there,
and I get the Rams. So with all those things happening right now, I have the Rams winning right now. With all those things happening, I have Miami versus Pittsburgh, Chiefs versus Houston, Jags playing Cleveland, Dallas playing Saints.
And I swear to God, if the Saints win a fucking playoff game on the back of the fucking Cowboys choking, and you fucking I want to be damned, bro.
And then Lions versus the Rams, and then Bucks versus Eagles. So that's where.
If I'm the Cowboys, I don't want to see the Saints. I don't know.
They
stink, but like
up the joint.
The Saints stink.
But I think the Packers could beat the Cowboys too, so I kind of hope the Packers do win. But you know,
so if Packers win, they actually jump ahead of the Rams. Packers would end up playing the Lions.
Oh, which that's the last thing. The Lions.
That's a fun game right there.
That is the absolute last thing Jared Goff wants to see, bro.
They want to get that get back.
No, I don't know, bro. I don't know.
But the Rams versus Dallas would be a good game. I think Dallas wins that game.
Yeah.
I think the Rams win that game.
I'll tell you right now, this feels like the 9th season in a row that the Eagles play the Bucks in playoffs as well. But I like that Eagles-Bucks matchup. I like the whole NFC in terms of matchups. And then over on the AFC side, I think it's a little bit more lopsided in the first round. And then it gets real fun after that. So I'm looking forward to these playoffs no matter what happens.
Yeah, man. So for touchdowns, I got Jonathan Taylor scoring a touchdown, even though I got the Texas winning. I think the Colts' chance to win this game is going to be through running because the Texans are terrible at defending the run. And I think they're just going to abuse Jonathan Taylor and just see how far that actually takes them. The second game, You know what? As another fuck you to the Falcons fans, I think Kyle Pitts is going to score a touchdown. I think he's going to have a great game. I think he's going to have a nasty game. Derrick Henry with a touchdown in his last game in a Titans uniform. I think that's just a given right there. I think I was about to say something stupid, but I think Juwan Jennings is going to score for the 49ers.
You're probably right.
Because he's probably going to be their number one wide receiver. And you know what? I got Stephon Diggs. Stephon Diggs scores in all big games. So that's my 5 touchdowns. Probably throwing away the whole win with that. But Juwan Jennings, might not even play a snap. We'll see.
You go, Bill.
So I've got CeeDee Lamb against Commanders. I'll take the free square there. Calvin Ridley versus Titans. Again, I think the Jags need it, and that chemistry has been there when Lawrence has been reasonably healthy with Ridley on the field. So I like that matchup. I like anybody against Titans secondary typically as well. Got Jonathan Taylor versus Texans as well. I think that's the only way the Colts contend in that game. Texas defense, I think, will tighten up. I'm not expecting a crazy day out of him, but I do think he scores. Devon Achane versus the Bills. He scores in more games than not when he plays, and we really need him right now, especially with it looking like Mostert's going to be out again. He's 100% on the games Mostert doesn't play, even though it's only 1-for-1, but still, I'll take it. I think he does score here. And I got Jordan Mason versus the Rams. Without CMC, that offensive line is still going to just...
Wait, what, Elijah Mitchell not playing?
He'll probably play.
But you just think Jordan...
I think Jordan Mason's going to get a higher snap share.
I was going to say Elijah Mitchell's somewhat important to them.
And I think they're going to use Mason as more of a goal line back than they would Mitchell. It's weird. You can never guess with these Week 18 matchups. I
love the last week of the NFL season.
It is fun. And then a bonus touchdown, Carson Wentz rushing into the end zone.
Yeah.
Okay. I have...
He's like Carson Wentz, yeah.
Carson, yeah, okay. I got Josh Allen. I think he'll just rush one in.
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts is playing, right?
Tush push? Probably.
Yeah, tush
probably
push.
For a little bit.
Tush push. Kyron's not playing?
Huh?
Kyron Williams not
very
playing?
likely not playing.
Okay, so I got Mostert scoring.
Mostert might not play either.
Okay, then I would have Tyreek scoring. No, I have Devin Achane going in that bitch.
Okay. In that bitch.
And then I got Jaden Reed.
Okay.
I like Jaden Reed this week, and I got Mike Evans. I think Mike Evans against Carolina, he'd be killing them, and I like that a lot.
Oh, and just an extra bet, I would throw Jameson Williams in there for like 100 yards, 6 receptions, because I think the one piece that they really need going into the playoffs is him, and he has gotten more touches as the year has gone along. I think he got in the last 2 or 3 games, he's gotten at least 5 in every game. So yeah. I think he's gonna break out in this game for sure. So yeah, wow, that's it. That's our last 5 wins, 5 touchdowns.
You're not doing that for the wild card,
huh? Well, we'll figure something out for the playoffs to still compete.
Maybe
Let's see who wins
3
this
wins
one.
And things count double, so we get a little chance to make some ground up.
Maybe if there's a tie, we'll have whoever's tied do a bracket, or we'll just do a bracket anyway and see who's better. With that being said, I'm tired, so...
You know what it is.
You already know what it is. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, share, sell your souls, get on the train. We got a lot coming. You already know. Yada, 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 yada. Subscribe to the Built Different podcast. We're here. We're not going anywhere. That's it, and that's done. We will see you throughout the playoffs. Have a good day /night.
Peace.
All hail Joe Flacco.